Hello guys, and welcome to another one of my Monster Super League video. In this video we're gonna be starting up by spending 1,000,000 in-game coins to ascend our evolution 2 Doc Mona from a 5-star Astromon to a 6-star Astromon, and there we have her. So what exactly does this do? Well, it allows the Astromon to go from level 50 all the way up to 60, but she does become a level 1 when you do it, which means that the journey ahead of us for her is pretty crazy. I think level 60 alone is almost 500,000 experience points, so it's like going 45 times on Pagos Coast on Extreme just for that one last level. So a lot of time is gonna be put into moving her forward from a pretty useless level 1 Astromon all the way up to level 60. Doc Mona is like the main reason that I started doing these Pagos Coast farming videos, because I need additional Monas so that I can get her to Evolution 3. The Evolution 3 level 60 Doc Mona is crazy, and she's not needed, but she is a very big help when doing the Golem Dungeon B10, because it is a Dark Element dungeon. So I'm looking very much forward to being able to farm that a bit more like stable once I have her up and running. Right now we're just going crazy pants on Pagos Coast here, and as with the previous videos, I am including some serious high-speed gaming here, trying to collect data about the spawn rate of rares, legendaries, super rares, exotics that actually count as rares, and the different variants in the game. So just putting it all there together, going super high speed mode. Unfortunately, I had a little bit of video editing problems that may reflect on this video. I'm not entirely sure yet. This is actually the 4th time that I'm trying to record this video on cam. There is something wrong with the file, so I hope things are gonna be a bit more smooth than what they've been the other times. I've been editing it quite a few times now, hoping to really get a bit more streamlined gameplay, because something happened in my speed up recording. I don't know if like the games in the speed up process, the frames somehow ended up so it was like a really weird chunky experience instead of this super fast thing. Of course it was fast, it just looked like really laggy, which of course it isn't, but yeah, I'm just gonna be going with the flow on it here anyway. So the purpose of this video, as with the other high-speed farming videos, is pretty much just to provide this statistical information about the spawn rates of the different Astromons, and I'm gonna like go with in Pagos Coast on Extreme in this level, blah blah blah. What I have read, and this may or may not be true, but apparently based on all I can read in forums, the spawn rate is the same no matter what you're playing. So if you're playing on easy, normal is what it's called, you're gonna have the same spawn rate as if you're playing on Extreme, and if you're playing in Pagos Coast, it's gonna be the same as playing in any of the other levels in the game. That is a pretty large group of players agree that the spawn rate is the same anywhere, and I'm starting to think, based on these many rounds I've been playing so far, that the spawn rate actually isn't on a per battle basis, it is on a per Astromon basis. And you can see sometimes that you have multiple catch-worthy Astromons in a single round, in a single battle, which kind of leads me to think that perhaps the spawn rate is like, this time around we're getting 4 Astromons in this round of this battle, and each of them possibly has like 1% chance of being something else, or 0.25%, or like whatever it is. Moving forward, I am going to be continuing to do the statistics on a per battle basis, because I don't really know if this is on like a per Astromon basis, but if I learn more about that, I'm going to be updating the stats so that they reflect any new knowledge that I get about it. The one thing that I have learned is that the exotic Astromons count as rares. So they kind of share spawn rate with the rares, meaning that I can cram these together as a single. I'm not going to because I like having them sorted, but it's very nice to know that if I have a catch rate for exotics that is twice as high as the one for rares, they actually have exactly the same spawn rate. That is the game developers have been posting in terms of the new Pinolo event, that even though these are only 2-star Astromons, they still actually count as a rare in terms of their appearance on the maps. So exotics are rares, meaning that if these two have very different spawn rates, it's just really because I don't have enough data yet, because they should be pretty much the same. Now, I have only so far been sharing high-speed gameplay of, I think it's about 250 games, and so you may be thinking like that's a little or that's a lot, but in terms of getting good statistical information, it's really not that much, because how many games are played on a daily basis? I'm thinking millions. Really, this is a very popular game, and people are grinding story modes like crazy, especially during the start of the game. And when you look at the Capture League stuff, that is actually a really exciting place for me to go in and look as a geeky, statistical, interested person. I could see that on day 2 of this week, some player caught 7 legendaries. Like, what? I've been catching 1 in 250 games or so over 3 or 4 days. So you need to be silly crazy lucky if you're gonna be catching 7 legendaries in the first day. But that is the cool thing about RNG. You can be silly crazy lucky, but it also really leaves room for the other part of the spectrum where you don't really catch any of the things that you would like to see. And that is why I really want to build up like a huge amount of games for the statistics, because like 250 games I've seen 1 legendary. Does that mean that you're gonna be seeing on average 1 legendary for every 250 games? Nah, I don't think so. Is it 1 in 1,000? Is it like where are we with like the real information? It's really hard to get a good idea about that until we see more stability on the stats. So having 1 of anything, 1 super rare or 1 legendary, it could be like crazy lucky. It could also be really bad luck. I'm hoping to be able to do these statistics for a very long time and just continue to build upon the data. At some point, I'm probably going to be moving away from Pagos Coast, because when I have my Monas, I mean, I do have the light Mona that I need to Evo 3 as well, and I don't have any fire Mona, so I could be here for a lot of Monas. But still, if we're gonna be looking at data based on thousands of games, then yeah, I'm probably gonna be farming different areas at some point. Also because Pagos Coast is not really ideal in terms of experience or in-game money, because it's like a medium tier level compared to a lot of the other stuff. So I am like wasting Astro Gems by playing here instead of on like a harder map, but I'm playing here because there's something here I really need and really want, and that is the Monas. Like we have here, that is exactly the stuff that I am here for, so it's very nice to see her. And that is actually also the Mona. Whoa. Yeah, okay. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, the Mona data is actually the data that I am mostly interested in, not just in terms of having for myself, because I'm almost done with Mona, but in terms of sharing with especially new players that don't have their Nature Mona yet, Evo 3, that don't have their Dark Mona yet, to be able to provide some information about if you're gonna be farming Mona, if you're not expecting to get her from a rebirth event or from unboxing loads of high secret eggs and stuff like that, then how much time do you actually need to put into farming Pagos Coast in order to obtain her? I got my dark and light Monas from a rebirth event. That was really lucky because you don't see that many. You don't get a lot of eggs that contain 4-5 star light and dark Astromons, and when you do, you almost always get like the Cosmos or the Hosey Pants and stuff like that. So being able to actually obtain just a single, you just need one dark Mona in order to get her all the way to Evo 3, but at some point you're gonna need to get a hold of her, and yeah, here we have another Mona. It's a really cool farming run this time around for Monas, because I need them so bad. Oh yes, I do. Almost there, and we're working on Tiny Mona now. We have her ascended, started out by spending 1 million for the ascension, so like, oh, I'm so close now to having the really amazing Dark Mona, so do not resist again. I need you. But yeah, you know, sometimes it's just not really as you want it to be. This is like pain and suffering unlike anything else. If only I could pay Astro Gems to get more Astro Chips when I have thrown away the 3s I have. It's like, no! And this is just a Mona. If you're like up against a legendary, and I think the base chance for a legendary is like 5% or something, and you really just want it, and you only have 3 shots, it is wow. So yeah, that is like, you could argue that just go for the 640,000 catch upgrade for wherever you're playing, because you want as high a chance as possible of catching a legendary if or when it appears. But it's also just like crazy expensive, especially because a lot of the end game isn't in the story mode area any longer. There is one like final piece of the puzzle that is worth mentioning in terms of farming the extreme adventure modes, and that is dragon sigils. So at some point we're going to be looking at the amount of dragon sigils you get for farming as well. This here, guys, was the farming streak for this video here. It looks like it went mostly without lag, so that was really cool. The first thing that I want to be including here is like the session data for these games, and pretty short one, 92 games, so not short in terms of games, but not a lot of data here, and that is because it doesn't really make sense for me to include the financial detail any longer, because it depends on how much you're catching. So yeah, we got 2 exotics, 2 rares, and 1 variant chest, and yeah, I didn't really catch the second Mona, but it appeared, and that is the important thing in terms of the statistics. And here we have the grand summary so far. 322 games is what I have been recording and sharing on my channel so far. In this like batch of gaming, we have been seeing 3 10 value gem variants, 2 5 gem variant chest, a single legendary, a single super rare, 4 exotics, and 5 rares. So, and these should end up being pretty close to the same value once we get a lot more data. So notable Astromons, 16 found, still staying pretty stable around the 1 in 21 games, depending on like where I end my farming sessions. This is like 20.3 or 20.7, so it appears that you're gonna, like, based on 322 games, you're gonna be having a chance at seeing something that is worth catching every once in 21 games. So that is pretty cool. If you exclude the exotics, then it's 1 in 27. And if you just focus on the 3-star plus, then it's 1 in 30 games. So guys, that was what I had to share in this video here. The most exciting part for me is ascending my Doc Mona, so that I have 6 stars on her now. I just need to walk a little with her in the story mode so that I can get her all the way up to 60. But yeah, that's gonna take some time. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching.